yes, window cleaning is absolutely still worth starting in 2026. But I want to be very clear from the beginning of this video. This is a simple business, but simple does not mean easy. So I've built Reach Window Cleaning from scratch all the way to $1.6 million per year. And I've also seen a lot of other owners who have grown great businesses in this space. So I'm going to give you my honest answer on why I still think in 2026, this is one of the absolute best home service businesses that you can start. But I'm also going to tell you the things that make it hard, where most people mess it up, and who this business is actually right for. Because if you go into it thinking that it's just easy money, you're probably going to quit early. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why the window cleaning opportunity is still wide open in 2026, why the business model is simple, but not necessarily easy, the real challenges that most people don't really talk about, what it actually takes to win right now, and who this business is right for and who should probably think twice. So here's what most people do not realize about the window cleaning industry. It is still massively underserved. In almost every single market, the bar to look professional and operate professionally is way lower than most people think. A lot of companies do not answer the phone. They don't quote fast. They don't follow up when they do give a quote. They don't show up looking professional. They don't have real systems in place for reviews, referrals, rebooking, hiring, or anything to do with customer experience. And that is the opportunity. I really feel like the window cleaning demand is consistent and it's always growing. The cool thing about this industry is windows, they just get dirty over and over again. Most homeowners, they either cannot do it themselves or they just don't want to do it themselves. People are busier now than they've ever been in the past, and they're just willing to pay somebody to just handle it for them. Higher end homeowners who make good money, they just want a good professional company to come in and take care of it. More people are starting to look online and they all shop the same way. They look and find the company with the best reviews, the most reviews, and that's who they trust to come to their home. So if you're in an area like me in Phoenix where it's growing constantly, there's always going to be more and more good companies needed. So I want to be very clear that this is not a saturated industry. People say that all of the time, but in most cities around America, there are not enough companies that are actually operating professionally and actually doing a good job. I personally am in Phoenix, and this is one of the most competitive home service markets in the entire country. And yet still there is huge opportunity here. So if you answer the phone, you quote fast, you show up on time, you do quality work, you get reviews, you follow up with the customer and you resell them later, you are really going to stand out from all of your competitors. The cool thing about the window cleaning business is it really is a low barrier to entry. You can start with very little equipment and very little money compared to other businesses. You don't need a storefront at the start. You don't need really any inventory. You don't need some big complicated supply chain like a lot of businesses do. The business model is very simple. Find customers, clean windows, get paid, follow up, rebook them, sell them service plans, get as much value out of that customer as possible. If you price correctly, your margins can be very strong. You can even make money on the front end, but you'll really make a lot of your profit on the back end through rebooking. So I know that the low barrier to entry scares a lot of people away from window cleaning because they think that it's just too easy to start. But to me, it's one of the best part about the business. You can start very lean, you can prove the model very quickly, and you can start actually making money a lot quicker than you can in most businesses. So when I first started, this operation was not some big business. Our first full year in business, we did $250K in revenue. Our second full year in business, we did $700K. And by our third year, we had done $1.2 million in revenue. This didn't happen because window cleaning is this like flashy, exciting business, but it just happened because I just took the fundamentals of the business, getting customers and keeping customers, and it worked. So I remember my very first full month in business, we did about $5,000 in revenue. So I had just moved to a new city where I knew absolutely no one. I was putting about 10,000 flyers on doors every single month to get jobs. And I remember we had a $5,000 month, and that was the first time that it really clicked to me that this is a real business. Now at 5,000, I was like supporting my family on it and paying all of our bills, and it still felt like we had hardly any money. But I knew that if we could do that in the first month, we could just keep growing after that. now, I want to be straight with you about the challenges, because anybody who sits there and tells you that this business is like super easy either has not built a real business or they just haven't built it past the solo operator. You answer the phone, you clean, you do all the work yourself. Window cleaning is a great business, but it is still a real business. You're going to deal with weather, customers, employees, scheduling, callbacks, slow months or slow seasons, missed calls, hiring people, pricing correctly, and all of the other problems that come with building a real company. Window cleaning works because it's a simple business model. You have strong margins when priced correctly. So some of the actual challenges that come with window cleaning are it's physical outdoor work and you're outside most of the day. Hiring and keeping reliable people is very hard. Weather and seasonality affect your revenue drastically, so you have to be ready for the ebbs and flows. Leads don't just magically show up. You have to actually go out and market and get them. Cheap competitors can undercut you all the time if you don't know how to sell actual value. A lot of time the owner becomes the bottleneck without building systems into the business. And you have to stay very, very consistent even when it feels slow and even when it feels like nothing's working. I think probably the biggest challenge I see both in my business and then the people that I'm coaching as well is hiring and finding good people. Most businesses who stay stuck are stuck because of the hiring problem and not because of leads. Hiring cannot be just post on Indeed and hope that good people show up. You need standards, you need good interviews, you need good training, you need to set proper expectations, and you need to hold your people accountable. I actually did a whole video going over my entire hiring process and how we hire 10 plus people at once, and you can watch that video here on my channel. While it is hard to find and hire good people, it's not impossible. It just means you need a real hiring system. You need standards, you need training. You need to know what type of person is going to be a good fit in the role. And you just need to stop acting surprised when hiring is hard. Hiring is hard in every single business out there. Another one of the biggest challenges I see people deal with is just being consistent. Most people don't fail because their marketing just sucks. They fail because they get super busy and then they stop marketing. They stop following up with their leads and then they quit after a few slow weeks or maybe a few slow months. They want 90-day results when really it takes years and years to get great results. So if there's one thing you can learn from this video, be consistent. Being consistent is going to be better than any motivation that you can get out there. So for you, if you can just keep doing the boring stuff for the next 12 to 24 months, your business can look completely different than it looks today just from that consistency. So what does it actually take to build a successful window cleaning business in 2026? I'm gonna give you the honest answer based on what I've seen work at Reach and with all of the business owners that I coach. Number one is to answer the phone and answer it quickly. This sounds super basic, but most companies are terrible at it. A couple years ago, I was looking for a landscaper who could come and mow my lawn and just take care of my yard. And I kid you not, I called 10 companies and not a single one of them even answered the phone. It was so hard for me just to find a good company who would come and cut my lawn consistently. The first professional company to respond or answer the phone is probably who is getting the job. So answer the phone. If for whatever reason you can't get to it, respond to people, return missed calls as soon as humanly possible, give people quotes quickly, follow up the same day, and then follow up every single day until they tell you yes or no. Do not make customers chase you. Make it very, very easy for them to book, for them to select a package or whatever you're selling and get on your schedule. So if you answer the phone, you quote quickly, you communicate professionally, and you make the process as easy as possible for the customer, you're already going to be ahead of 99% of your competition. Number two is to look professional from day one. So have good, clean uniforms. Have a clean vehicle. Preferably have that vehicle wrapped, but if you can't afford that, at least have it clean and looking nice. Here at Reach, we wash our trucks every other week, so we're never showing up to a house with like a really dirty or muddy truck. Have good communication. Have a professional quoting process. Have clear packages that make it easy for them to choose from and not just yes or no options. Get good reviews and get as many reviews as you possibly can. Have a clean website and some sort of good online presence. Before they hire you, customers need to feel that they can trust you in their home. The companies that look professional, they communicate well, and create a great experience are going to win every single time. Number 3 is to price correctly from the start. Underpricing is very, very common in this industry, and I've seen a lot of people who do it, and it just leads to burnout. You do not want to build a business around being the cheapest. Being the cheapest is going to attract the worst possible customers, and you're never going to have any margin left over, and you're never going to be able to hire and actually scale. You need to sell value and not just that you're cleaning windows. And then you need to think about customer lifetime value. So many people are so focused on getting customers and serving them that first time, when really all of the money is when you service them again and again and again. So that needs to be your focus. Over time, a recurring customer can literally be worth thousands of dollars to you. I talked about this in number 3, but number 4 is more about building recurring revenue from the beginning. So every single job that you do is an opportunity to create a recurring customer. Service plans are going to absolutely change the game for you. I think that you should be selling service plans. But I will also tell you that we were doing over $1 million per year before we ever implemented service plans. So while they do help, it's more important, in my opinion, that you're doing regular text blasts, regular phone calls, regular emails to get people back on the schedule. But that being said, it is now becoming very, very normal for window cleaning businesses to sell service plans. And I think most of the market is going to be a lot more receptive to it than they were maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So quarterly and biannual plans, what they do is they create predictability for you. You can get to the point like us where every single month you start with 25 to 60K in revenue at the very beginning of the month. So once you stop starting every single month from zero, everything in business gets easier. It's easier to hire, it's easier to have predictability, it's easier to market a little bit harder and get more customers. Rebooking is absolutely one of the most important things that you can do, and it might be the most important thing that you can do. Number 5 is to build reviews and have a great reputation. Reviews are one of the biggest trust builders out there. Every single person everywhere in the world, they shop the exact same way. They look at the product or the service or whatever they're looking to buy, they go and read the reviews, they find a company or a product that's trustworthy, and then they buy that thing. Every single job that you do is an opportunity and a chance to get a review. Reviews are going to make all of your marketing easier, and a strong reputation is going to help you be able to charge more and demand more for your services. Number 6 is to market consistently even when it's slow. Most owners get this exactly wrong. It gets really, really slow, and then they'll pick up their marketing, and then they'll get really busy from their marketing, and then they'll turn it off because they can't handle anymore. The right way to do it is during your busy season, when things are going well, you want to spend as much on marketing as you possibly can so that you can get booked out further and extend your busy season even more. The cycle of turning marketing on and turning it off is what consistently keeps people stuck. So pick a few channels that are tried and true and they work for you, and be relentlessly consistent with them. This can be door hangers, this can be a good referral program, this can be Google ads or Google LSA ads, this can be Facebook ads, this can be updating your Google business profile and adding pictures to it consistently, this can be posting on social media consistently. Whatever you decide to do, the consistency is going to compound. My typical recommendation for my coaching clients is to get to $20,000 months with boots on ground marketing, whether that's door hangers, flyers, door knocking, whatever that is. And then after 20K per month, I think it's when it makes sense to add in some paid advertising and then scale from there. The owners who win are those who market in good months and in bad months. They keep showing up, keep asking for reviews, they keep following up, and they keep building their brand and getting more recurring customers. So I want to talk about who this business is actually right for, because it's not for everyone, and I would rather that you know that now rather than 6 months in. So this business is right for you if you're willing to do physical work early on, you can handle talking to customers and actually asking for the sale, you are consistent, not just motivated, you're willing to treat it like a real business and a real job from day one, you're willing to build the systems, you are willing to hire and lead people eventually and grow as a leader, you are patient enough to let the compounding work for you, and you want to build a real company and not just a job for yourself. I've watched it happen over and over again with people in this industry. People who didn't have crazy amounts of money to start, and they did not have everything figured out, but they just started, they stayed consistent, they learned the business, and they kept improving, and by doing so, they built a great business. This business probably isn't a good fit for you, If you just want passive income from day one, you're looking for easy money, you're not willing to do sales, you're not willing to deal with people, you're not willing to hire or lead people, you quit as soon as it gets a little hard, you need absolute certainty from when you start, or you're not willing to do the boring work consistently. So I'm not saying this to discourage anyone. I'm just saying this because the people who go into it with the right expectations are those who stick around long term. The people who expect like fast, easy results, they usually quit a few months in and they say, oh, the market's just saturated. Everybody does window cleaning. While the people who treat it like a real business, they usually keep going and they realize the opportunity that is there. I recently had a coaching client who was about to give up and just quit. Had hired a few bad people who had just done a bad job and didn't show up consistently and were on drugs and just all of this bad stuff. And he was so close to quitting, but he decided to stick it through, keep hiring, and eventually found the right people. And he was able to go from having like $10,000 months to $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 months just because he was able to see it through. Whereas he could have just took his first few bad hires and said, hey, I just can't find good people. There's no good people out there. I'm just gonna hang it up and do something else. But he didn't do that. And because of that, he's built an awesome business. Now let me speak specifically to 2026 because the title says 2026 and I want this to be current. So here's what's the same and it's never going to change. Windows still get dirty. Homeowners will always need the service. Professional companies will always stand out. Reviews still matter. Referrals still matter. The fundamentals still work. A good operation with strong systems will always win. But here's what's maybe a little bit different or new in 2026 in the modern day. Customer expectations are at an all-time high. They expect very fast replies and they expect professional communication. They are always checking reviews before they call you. Every single time. They expect a clean online presence. We now have AI, so you can use these tools to help you with coming up with content. You can have it help you with your follow-up, with your hiring process, and with your marketing. Softwares like the one we use for quoting, Responsibid, make the quoting process and the follow-up process so much easier than what was around 10 years ago. Social media, YouTube, etc., they allow you to build trust more quickly than you could in the past. The amateur version of the business is getting a lot harder, and that version probably is a little saturated. But the professional side of the business has more upside than ever before. So yes, window cleaning is absolutely still worth starting, but the people who win are not just good window cleaners. They are operators and they build a real business. So if you can be consistent when it's hard, if you're willing to answer the phone, quote fast, follow up, get reviews, build service plans, rebook people, hire the right people, create systems, then yes, window cleaning is absolutely still worth it in 2026. And I believe this truly with my heart because I have personally lived it. I have seen window cleaning absolutely change my life, going from having no money and being completely broke and just starting this business from nowhere to being able to now live the life of my dreams and have financial freedom and have freedom of my time. So I've personally lived it. I've watched my clients do it. The ceiling is super high. 1 to 2 to 3 million is very, very doable. Demand is never going away. Windows are never just going to stay clean. The opportunity still exists. Execution is what is going to separate the amateurs from the professionals. So the window cleaning business absolutely works. The question is, will you work? So if you like this and want to see more videos like this, please leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.